Well, a little Monday morning project. I decided to do this. This is slime that is made for tube and tubeless tires. And I believe this is an 8-ounce bottle. So I put 8 ounces, I use 2 bottles, 8 ounces in each one of the front 2 tires because those are the most prone to get flats. The back one is the knobby, which seems to be a little bit better as far as road debris and that kind of thing. I already had one flat on the front, and these fat tires are really hard to fix. Getting the tire bead loose is a real trick. So I had to buy actually steel, I think they're 10-inch bars, in order to get these tires at least off the rim so I can get the tube out, and then trying to find the leak is always a chore. So I decided to put some slime in there. Did a little research on it, and one place says don't ever do it. Every place else says do it. And the slime seems to be one of the ones that they recommend the most. And I've heard of this before. A lot of the motorcycle guys use slime. They think it balances the tires and all kinds of magical things. But the main thing is it does seal up small punctures. And the ones I've had are pinhole. They're just pinhole little punctures. And I'm thinking, well, this stuff will take care of that. And it's contained inside the tube. So if you ever have to change tires or whatever, you pull the tube out, throw it away, and redo the whole process. I wouldn't try to salvage this stuff. And I know if you go tubeless, you have to use some sort of sealant. And to me, going tubeless seems like a real mess. I like the idea that this stuff is contained within the tube, and if you do get a leak, it's just going to be that little area where the leak exists that's going to have slime ooze out. Other than that, I think this should be a pretty clean approach to preventing flats. I'm running 10 psi in the front, and I think I run 15 or 16 in the back. You know, the target's always 15, but it doesn't always end up there. So I run a little bit more in the back because it's a single wheel, and the front, you know, the load is distributed, so I run 10, which is a nice even number for a little bit of rough road, plus less rolling resistance on the paved road, so it's kind of a compromised pressure. So we'll see how this works out. So this bike that was a little project for this Monday morning. I do have a customer bike here, which is this really nice Terra Trike that she just purchased. The thing looks brand new. It is used, but it looks brand new. It's absolutely pristine condition. And I'm putting a 750 watt mid-drive motor in the front. On this one, you're going to mount the battery on the side so she can get it on and off real easy. And a couple other things on there. So that'll be a project as soon as the motor shows up and the battery shows up and all that stuff, which should be today or tomorrow. And I've got this battery here. That's a 100 amp hour, 48 volt battery. Not for the e-bike, it's for my golf car. But I got to thinking, I'm actually going to put this in there with the Anderson connector so I can unplug it. And I got this idea. What if I had a pet trailer and I pulled it behind this thing and I had that battery in the trailer? That would give me 400 miles of range. And I'm thinking about doing the Mickelson Trail, I should say. I'm thinking that would be one way to do it non-stop, be a 10 or 11 hour bike day, but I could do 109 miles in one day with that battery. It's a thought. What do you think?